Shalom. Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rahakwadash, which those will be the true names of the Heavenly Father, which is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, which is Yahweh Shai. Double honors to our teachers, the apostles, and other bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to the Lord's elect, teaching in truth, sincerity, and diligence for the sake of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and straight to the point. Here the conclusion is a famine. And that's really the only thing that makes sense when you consider the many different events that then took place concerning the food here in the society. And this is just another event where they done calculated over 20 million U.S. chickens being deleted by the bird flu. You see, and ultimately says it's contributing to the egg prices rising, in which you're going to experience a lot of things, rise here in the society. A lot of the food is going to skyrocket and go into that hyperinflation because the food is going to become scarce here. You're going to continue to have these events where you're going to experience more recalls, more E. coli and listeria contaminations, more bird flu contaminations, and these things is going to start contaminating your cattle, your deers, in which these events are already taking place, where your cattle is being contaminated, your deer have a disease called the zombie disease, some along those lines. You see, where these things is already taking place, but yet they're going to grow and intensify, man. And it's going to grow until your full storehouses being found empty. People riding outside of Walmarts and Publix and Targets, stopping shops. You see, also because the food is going to become scarce. It says the ongoing outbreak of bird flu has led to the death of millions of egg-laying chickens in the U.S. You see, those egg-laying chickens. So if the egg-laying chickens is dying off, then that ain't no more eggs being produced. You see, which is going to cause those things to hyperinflate. It says the deaths that have occurred over the last 3 months have had a significant impact in the price and the prices of eggs, helping to raise them to their highest point in years. And these things is going to continue to go up. Your chicken noodle soup, your eggs, chicken breast, chicken broth, and even your chicken broth got a recall, man. But yet that's just making food scarce, and that make room for hyperinflation, man. And that's also going to make room for chaos. You see, but just skipping down into the article, it says right here at the top, the chicken crisis has also been unprecedented. CBS reported that more than 20 million egg-laying chickens deleted from the disease or as a result of culling in the last quarter, despite the country having one of the strongest avian influenza surveillance program in the world, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. So America got one of the strongest avian influenza surveillance programs in the world, but yet 20 million chickens didn't drop dead, man. And this is also because Yahweh Shai, Shai, has his hand in orchestrating this famine, man. Which they call it, these things is unprecedented to them. You see, let's see real quick. I just want to skip down. See. Right here at the top it says, but despite the surge in bird flu cases among animal species, confirmed cases amongst people remain low. You see, and this disease is even jumping over the people, in which there's prophecy, man. You see, it says at time of writing, the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, has reported 66 infection cases since the current outbreak of highly pathogenic H5 avian flu began in the country in 2022. Most of these cases have related to farm workers who have close contact with animals, man. But you see, the only thing that can come from an event like this is ultimately a famine, man. In which this is ultimately what's brewing. Things is going to become scarce here in this society. You see, real quick, this is Ezekiel chapter 5, in verse let's see, maybe Ezekiel 4. Yeah, Ezekiel 4 and verse 16 in the NLT. It says, then he told me, son of man, I will make food very scarce in Jerusalem, and it will be weighed out with great care and eaten fearfully. Yeah, and you're seeing events take place that's going to cause this thing to come to pass, where food is going to become scarce. 20 million chickens dying from the avian bird flu, on top of those plants that was burned down. The livestock being killed off, different recalls taking place. All these things is ultimately going to lead to food becoming scarce. You see, and it's going to be weighed out with great care and eaten fearfully, man. You ain't going to throw you going to honor leftovers, man. You see, crackers being broken up in four, divided up. You see, it's going to be eaten fearfully, because you're not going to know where your next meal going to come from. But this is the reality, you see, that's going to come into this society, man. It says the water will be rationed out drop by drop, and the people will drink it with dismay. And even when you consider those people in Richmond, Virginia, as of now, that water being rationed out, man. But yet, it's hope at the end of the tunnel, but it's going to come a time where, that's going to be the reality. You see, that water might not never cut back on. You see, this can be the beginning stages of the new norm for them. You see, but yet this is something that's going to take hold of this whole society, where that food is going to be rationed out. Eating fearfully is going to become scarce, and even the water as well, man. Yeah, it says lacking food and water, people will look at one another in terror, and they will waste away under their punishment, man. Yeah. Man, the people are going to be humbled, man. That fearful spirit is going to come into these people when they on their last can of baked beans, that last little can of corn, or the crumbs to the cereal box. You see, that thing's it's gonna get real serious, man. And now you looking at your child to be your next meal. You see, this is also what these things are gonna grow into. This is Ezekiel 5 and verse 16. It says, when I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you. You see, and this is ultimately what this thing is going to bring forth. The famine is starting with you hearing about it through articles. You're hearing about recalls and things like that. But this is going to grow into a great destruction here in this land. It says, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff for bread. And the way that the Lord is increasing the famine, is by causing 20 million chickens to be put to death through a virus, through a pestilence, a plague. You see, it says, so would I send upon you, famine and evil beasts, and they shall bereave thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee, and I will send the sword, and I will bring the sword upon thee. I, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Awashai, have spoken it. You see? So these are the things that the Lord is ultimately going to send forth. That famine, those evil creatures, those evil beasts, in which it was a video that surfaced about those lions in Detroit, roaming through the city. It says, and they should bereave thee, rob you of your children, man. You see how these animals, attacking these 6-year-olds, 3-month-olds. But yet that's just prophecy, man. It says, and that blood should pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee, in which a part of that sword is the so-called white man Esau Edom. But even the perfection of their sword, which is those ICBM missiles, man. That's the conclusion, of that sword. It says, I, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Awashai, have spoken. You see, and you're going to experience these things take place here in the planet Earth. And yet, this is just the beginning stages. You see? But yeah, Akim, I pray that you was edified, giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rahakwadash, Lord, once in this video. Shalom.